So I blend a couple styles. I really like giving people experiential tips and tools. I really like giving people practical tips and tools. I also know that there's this point that people reach where they're stuck and they know they're stuck, but they can't figure out why. And so I also like to give people a little bit of insight into why I'm seeing them getting stuck in the particular way that they are, while also giving them some applicable tools that they can use in the present. My goal for you is that you feel like you have hope for your relationship again. So for couples who've booked an 8-hour mini intensive, if at the end of that you're wanting to go further, there is the option to book the additional 7 hours to kind of make it a complete 15-hour experience. For folks who are doing the full 15 hours, we really do expect that by the end of that, you have the tools you need to be able to carry on and maintain your progress at home. And I'm going to give you tips on how to do that too at the end. So we'll be talking at the end of the intensive about how to maintain your gains. So I think there are a few instances when the idea of doing an intensive feels really obvious to a couple. One of those would be when the couple's in a state of relationship crisis. A betrayal has been recently discovered, or maybe the couple's right on the brink of divorce. But I also know that there are times when an intensive doesn't seem as obvious to someone, and it's actually a really good idea. One of those times would be when a couple is embarking on a long distance relationship. So let's say that one partner is about to be deployed, or when someone's maybe about to move states for a remote job, something like that. Another situation that's really helpful is when a couple is in a state where maintaining status quo or only achieving gradual change doesn't feel tenable. In a situation like that, you can do weekly therapy and you can really take your time. But when you're in that position, often taking your time feels really painful, and it's really hard to go for months without a state of clarity. There are a lot of couples who have done intensives and found it to be really beneficial, either because it helped them through a time of crisis in their life and it gave them a really clear path forward through that crisis, or just because it gave them movement a lot more quickly than what they would have seen had they been doing, roughly an hour every week for months and months. I've also seen my fair share of couples who didn't do an intensive and actually really would have benefited from doing one. Not only because sometimes it leads to the relationship not working out if by the time they're starting therapy things have been hurting for a really, really long time, but also it just wouldn't have had to hurt as much if